Right, it's Dan from the Mike James Rock Show. I've got Howard Jones from Light the Torch with me today. And you guys are on tour with Norma Jean and In Flames.
Yes, we are.
And start with a bit of a generic question. How's it going so far?
Oh, it's just awful. Yeah, I'm having a terrible time with Norma Jean and In Flames. Yeah, it's been great.
Fantastic.
Each show seems to just be getting better.
Because we've been playing out the new In Flames stuff and absolutely loving it. And I got to admit, I'm really looking forward to getting the Light the Torch stuff myself for the first time live. Because it's the first time underneath this branding that we've managed to chat to you. And actually really excited to, because of, we actually as a show have a big Love of the Jamie Jaster podcast. And you may have featured on it sort of once or twice.
Yeah, I feel like I've done that before.
But it's just been really nice hearing sort of a lot of what you guys have talked about over the last little while, having last seen you on the Devil You Know stuff and being able to actually come out and see you this time, because you've been really open about stuff, and that's been really awesome as a sort of long-standing fan of yourself and Jamie. So is it nice sort of being back in England with all of the changes and the positivity that you're bringing this time around?
Yeah, everything was just in a lot of flux when we were here, and it's almost exactly 2 years?
Wow,
yeah.
2 years.
Yeah, and having to lose trademarks and all of that, it was a lot. And then writing and recording an album that we paid for and hired a producer, and this was all us. And then label got on board and said, okay, we're going to get behind this. And so it was just kind of a slow process, but to get to this now, to finally be here, worth it. Absolutely worth it.
Well, I got to admit, listening to the new album, it feels like you guys are happy writing it, because we listen to a lot. We don't have any genre on our show, so we listen to a lot of cross-section of music, and every so often you do stumble across something where you can feel how happy the guys are to be writing it, and to hear you sort of reflect that across different media has been awesome. And so I imagine that you guys just were doing it because, more so than ever, because you wanted to, from the sounds of it. If you paid for it and made sure it all happened, did that change the way you felt about it, sort of moving forward?
I don't know if it changed the way, but it does seem to mean so much because there was no outside influence. And it kind of harkens back to when you first start being in a band, and you just write it because you have that fire.
Yeah.
And so much life happened to us that we were just itching.
Yeah.
And so we didn't know what kind of deal was going to happen. We didn't know what label we were going to land on. We just didn't care. It was just time to write. We had to get it out, and so we were able to work it out. But it's just everything worked out somehow. Very strange, because this is not the usual story in music. Usually it's like everything falls apart, just like everything always falls apart. Yeah. But for us to be here, and there's just a joy about it. It's like, wow, how did this happen? I don't know, but let's just roll with it. Okay.
Well, from our friends that have touched base with you at some of the other dates in the UK, they're saying that the live energy and obviously all the social media posts is that you guys are just having fun. And I don't know, for me, I think there's more bands that should probably focus on trying to do something that gives them back that joy, as you say, makes it mean something again. Because everybody tries to get a slice over your career of the pie that is your creativity. We're speaking to quite a few bands at the moment that are doing a very similar thing to yourself, where they're breaking back down what they do to do it for themselves and not to tick any boxes for anybody else. And I'm just really happy because I've been a fan of yours for a while. I mean, admittedly, your first band, I think, I caught up and did a back catalogue to listen to. But I've just really always enjoyed you as a vocalist, because you can shout loudly, cleanly, and screaming-wise, and that always makes me happy. So it's been really nice, like I say, because we're in an era where people are being a lot more personal, I think, and being open in certain things. And it was something like from yourself, I realised that I maybe over the years just sort of done that idle thing on stage, whereas I didn't process that you may not have been enjoying yourself because you were up on a stage and everything like that.
So I enjoyed the performance part. It was just the remaining hours of the day that was where I was struggling. It was, and it was more of like I was doing things, but I was kind of directionless, and so I just had to figure out balance. And honestly, the best thing for me was going away and not having a cell phone for 3.5 years. It's a little drastic. But for me, it was I guess I gotta quote a very, very famous band, Cinderella. You don't know what you got till it's gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had time to miss it. I had to just try and figure out what in the world is going on in my crazy head. And that time away just helped me slowly start rebuilding. Even with Devil You Know, I was still trying to figure out, what am I doing? What's my place? But just as it progressed and everything that happened, life happened.
Yeah.
And I just tried to make the most of it. And luckily I've had some really good people behind me, and here we are.
Yeah. I love what you did about the cell phone, because obviously on the podcast it's come out a couple of times. I think Jamie may slightly tease you about not having a cell phone. But it was stuff like that myself, because everybody has life stuff that gets in the way. And for me it was I couldn't get rid of my phone because family, stuff like that. I went for a different thing when I just needed to do a similar thing, got rid of all the apps for social media, so that literally the only stuff I was doing I was sort of controlled over. And it's amazing how much you get back to yourself.
Oh yeah, that's a good thing. I've never had any social media. The band does, but me personally, I've never had it. So that part wasn't too hard for me. But for me, it's just finding balance, and my balance is just doing more outside of the band, so that when I focus on this, I can give it real attention and that it deserves. So and so then when I'm doing all this other stuff outside, it's just I'm then prepared to do this. Like, okay, that was great. Right now, I can do my regular full-time job.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just staying active, but taking the breather was huge.
Cool. Actually, I just want to thank you because we kind of jumped in without really much preparation to quite an open interview.
But
it's something which we as a show have quite a propensity to do, because, like I say, I've learnt a lot from listening to people, which I had learnt that I had just kind of thought that, band member, stage. Even though I do interviews and I chat to people, it was, I took a lot of lessons from various people over the years, and for me, I came back to doing interviews actually off of taking time off, and one of the ones was a bit the same as kind of throwing out the window what people were expecting me to say. And I was a bit nervous about meeting you as it happens, because like I say, it's been a bit of a fan, and they can either go really badly where I sort of fanboy and sort of just talk about geeky questions that nobody else wants the answers to.
Well, the thing is, every interview is different, and I just try to take it in and see what I'm working with. And they are all different, and some are quite peculiar. Like, where are you even going with this? But it helps if there's an actual interest. Sometimes there's the job, but if the person has an interest in the artist or the band, it helps.
Yeah. Well, we were actually saying that on the way up, we're looking forward to what happens to you guys, because like the Torch was such a rebranding, as it were. We're looking forward to the next couple of years, because they tend to be quite exciting, those times where, as you say, you're starting again, you're seeing what goes out there, and wouldn't have necessarily expected seeing you on a tour with these guys, but I'm very happy, because
and I think that was kind of the strange thing too, is the whole rebranding. No one knew what to make this. Well, there's so much time was spent trying to build Devil You Know up, and just gonna leave it. I am. We are. And there was no other choice, and there was no other safety net. And for me, the name didn't really matter as long as the content was there. And this was us. It was just like a couple guys who wrote stuff with no one else in mind. It's just, this is what we wanted to do. So we did it.
Like I say, I think it really comes across on the record, because I don't know, it's just something that we were playing it on the way up because we had quite a drive here. I was just like, I literally cannot wait to see this live. But like I say, it's amazing how many people are sort of saying similar to you, is that they're finding what is actually having this success that you're a bit confused by from the start, where you say that everything's going right, is it seems that when people are writing just themselves and the product is there, and it almost seems like a bit of an obvious statement, is that you write something that is for yourself, it's good, and therefore companies respond to it, fans respond to it, everything like that. But I think it's something that we've lost over the years, because we talk to a lot of bands and they're trying their hardest to seem excited about something, but they're being pushed by so many different people in the industry to be one thing or the other, or like you say, is maintain a brand which they don't necessarily want to maintain. And that's why, for me, I really wanted to talk to you, because it was such a brave move for the music industry. But it sounds like that for you it wasn't any question.
Yeah, I didn't really think of it that way. It was more of just like, and now when I think about people have said that was a gutsy thing. I just didn't see it as there was any choice. It was like, I have to move forward. And also, I will take the shot. I don't have anything to lose, because literally once I decide to do something, I go all in. And so for me, this is music. And I'm not going to be back in a cubicle or anything like that. So, I mean, I am unhireable. So it's like, well, figure it out, man. It's just you got to do something. But it was just a combination of right time, right place, and right people behind the band. And I mean, so I can't really point to one single thing. It was a lot of work, a lot of not sleeping, and it was just worth it to be here doing this. We get to look at each other and just go, wow, can you believe this? And it's genuine. I don't BS people. So it's just, this is what it is. It's startling that we're doing this, because there was so much time that elapsed where we were trying to keep the name Devil You Know, and then lost it, and then what do? Then we make this album, and then okay, we're going to do this, but we're going to need some time to try and build this up, and then we have to get new management and booking. So it was this process, and the album is now a year old, and here we are in the middle of touring. Worth the wait, though. Absolutely worth it.
Fantastic. I think you've got probably demands on your time, so if it's all right,
so let's see.
I might cut it short there. But honestly, it's going to be so much fun watching this and the ethos actually on stage tonight. So I just want to thank you for taking a couple of minutes and honestly being so open with me. It's such a pleasure to speak to you.
No worries.
Brilliant.
From the Mike James Rock Show.
Thank you for watching my interview with Howard Jones of Light the Torch. If you want to catch all the rest of the interviews we're doing this year, and hopefully if we speak to him again, just hit the like, subscribe and notification bell. Cheers.
Welcome to the Mike James Rock Show.